This has been a really great weekend for all of us old people to temporarily escape from our assisted living homes. But, you know, the first time I ever heard of anyone attending a 50-year high school reunion was when my father-in-law told me that he was going to attend his, and I thought, can any of his classmates still walk at that age? But now, that's us. So. But, you know, on a more serious note, as you've seen and heard the stories about what all of you guys have done since we graduated from high school, I have realized that we have really an amazing class. The classmates from this small town in northwest North Dakota have accomplished some amazing things. From being on the team that captured Manuel Noriega to a team that negotiated nuclear arms control treaties with Russia. From building Bill Gates' house in Seattle to commanding nuclear submarines under the polar ice caps. From serving as teachers, lawyers, doctors, nurses, government officials, to starting up dozens of different companies that now employ thousands of people. Classmates have attended universities all across the country and around the world, places like Oslo, Norway, and Rome, Italy. We've parachuted out of aircraft, rappelled out of helicopters, teamed up with the French Foreign Legion, and the amazing list really goes on and on. It's crazy to read it. But one of my favorites was when Bob Peterson said the most dangerous thing he ever did was date a redhead. And I can tell you, having a redhead sister and granddaughter, I know what it means. But you know, on reflection, I see that we have been truly blessed to live during the era that we have. When we started first grade, could we possibly have imagined seeing men walking on the moon by the time we were teenagers? Or that today we could hold in our hands a cell phone that has computing power millions of times greater than the computer that took those men to the moon. And just look at all the places in the world that we, just us in this room as classmates, have visited during our lifetime. Every single U.S. state and Canadian province, nearly every country in the world, when you add up the list, from the far northlands of Russia, Norway, Finland, to the extreme southern globe like New Zealand, Australia, Argentina. Our classmates have visited virtually every country in Europe and Central and South America, and most in Asia and the Middle East, lots of countries in Africa and exotic islands around the globe, from the Caribbean to the South Pacific. We have been truly blessed to live in a time when we can visit the world. And every one of us has taken advantage of that in some way, whether large or small. But for me personally, the blessings of living in a world of amazing technology advances and great travel opportunities is nice, but it's not what I cherish the most as I look back over my life. The things that I cherish most came often from right here in Williston, North Dakota. Like my relationship with Christ, who I met face-to-face at a small Bible camp in Epping, Springbrook. And the people that I grew up with here in Williston, and the lifelong friendships we've formed. Or the family that supported me and stood by me through good times and bad, no matter how hard-headed I was.
Was?
But it's the virtues, the values, and the work ethic that I learned growing up from my parents that were just a generation removed from their immigrant ancestors. And it's the vast plains of North Dakota wheat fields, the flocks of ducks and geese flying south for the winter, the pheasants flushing in front of a good hunting dog. These are the kinds of things that I cherish the most as I look back across my lifetime. Each one of you, my high school classmates, has played a part through years that we spent together in those cherished memories and lessons. And for that, I thank each one of you who could be here tonight, as well as those many classmates we just saw who could not be here tonight because they're no longer with us. I learned recently during my physical exam at the Mayo Clinic that I'm exhibiting the early stages of dementia. It doesn't appear to be Alzheimer's, so it's too early to say how rapidly it will advance. But my financial advisor just told me that the insurance actuaries say that the most likely age of my death would on average be at the age of 83. That means I have a 50% chance of dying before age 83 and a 50% chance of dying after age 83. But the thing is, that's only 15 years from now. And that's just 22% of the years that I've already lived. And the bottom line is that regardless of how fast the dementia advances, I know that I'm in the final quarter of the football game of life. And in reality, we all are in that same boat. And thinking of it like that helps put things into the proper perspective. The Seals and Crofts song, "We May Never Pass This Way Again," is prophetic for a great many of us who statistically just won't be around for our 60th class reunion. But recognizing that reality doesn't cause me to fear. The words of the psalmist in Psalm 73 give me great hope when he says, "My health may fail and the spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever." And as a good North Dakota Norwegian, of course, I grew up as a Lutheran. But actually, later in life, I became an elder in the Presbyterian church that I attended in Colorado. And one of the things I really like about being that is that I learned about the Westminster Catechism and the question that it asks, and I think the most important of those questions is, what is the chief end of man? And the brilliant answer in that catechism is the chief end of man is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. As I reflect on the meaning of forever, the genius philosopher Blaise Pascal said it best when he stated, "There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every person, which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God the Creator made known through Jesus Christ." And I'm happy that I've personally filled that God-shaped vacuum through my walk with Jesus. As I think about what that means for the way I live, this quote has guided me on how to be the man and leader that I want to be. Leadership is about serving the people you lead so that they will go further and do better than you. When you're faithful to bless others, God will likewise be faithful to honor and bless you. Whether my opportunity to make a difference is small or great, I know that I've been greatly blessed so that I can be a blessing to others, which is why blessed to be a blessing is my personal motto. And so this evening, I encourage each one of you, as you reflect on the questions of eternity and the upcoming final quarter of the football game of your life, to incorporate these things into your life as well. You too have been blessed. Seek to apply that in ways so that you also can be a blessing to others. And if we put our faith in God as we seek to bless others, we can trust His promise found in Proverbs 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you the path to take. Thank you, and may God bless you.